if you're looking at somebody that has done you wrong, or somebody who has maybe forgotten about you or not treated you the same, things like that, and you look at it as there's a problem with yourself, that's where you're missing the boat. And the reason why I say this, and on the flip side, before I jump into it, on the flip side, if you just look at them and say, no, they're assholes, they're bitches, they're this, they're that, they're the third, and you put the blame on them, you're also wrong. See, humans in nature are naturally intrinsically selfish. Almost there's a philosophy out there that any human act that is done can be boiled down to a selfish reason. No matter to explain this philosophy further, no matter what action you think of, there's a selfish reason behind it. So for example, why do I become friends with somebody or engage in a relationship with somebody? Because they contribute to my life, they make me feel good, they make me feel happy. That's selfish. Right? And it becomes about me. And then I get the one that a lot of other people say, well, what about if you donate to something or you donate to a charity? You're just giving away your stuff, right? But if you break it down to an actual basic principle, you're also donating that money because it makes you feel good. Like, that's what this philosophy talks about, right? When we look at the person that is replacing us, and we look at the person who's treating us poorly or not giving us reciprocity in terms of the way that the relationship is going, where we are making a mistake is we are putting an expectation out there of the way that we are expecting these people to treat us as to why we are even in that engagement of interaction in the first place. That's where we mess up a lot of times, because we do subliminal expectations of people because that's the way that we expect to be treated. So on the flip side, when we take a look at this interaction and this person is leaving us, and we start to have that self-doubt creep in, and we start looking internally, intrinsically, right? If we keep the control within ourselves, you're no longer being replaced, right? To keep our serenity, to keep our peace, we're no longer being replaced. That interaction served its purpose, right? You did a good deed by being there for somebody when they needed you. You are strong enough in who you are as a person to know what you are able to offer other individuals when it comes to building any type of relationship, whether that's friend, romantic, whatever the case may be. So when I take a step back and I look at the interactions in my life and I keep this philosophy, I stay secure in who I am and what I have to offer. And if that person is choosing to not engage and bring it back, then that's on them, because I'm keeping the focus on myself, right? I'm keeping the focus on who I am as a person. I'm not going to allow myself to have self-doubt creep in or lose another moment of sadness for someone who is doing all the taking and no giving. I value myself more than that. So to the person that's feeling replaced, don't look at it as you're feeling replaced. Look at it as they're saving you. You're hemorrhaging the bleeding, because other than that, they're just going to be the leech that continues to suck all of the blood out of you until there's nothing left. Value yourself more than that. It doesn't feel as good if you're on a date and your significant other goes, oh, well, I just ordered us Chinese delivery. It'll be here in 20 minutes. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all about getting takeout, watching a movie, all that kind of fun stuff. That's cool. But it doesn't mean as much as you could walk through the door and your significant other or a person is sitting there creating a meal for yourself, for you guys. Right? It just feels different. Just been rough learning self-worth, spent 20 years not having it. Well, let's not make it 21 then. Don't justify your decisions now and the decisions for your future based on past experiences. Don't let the past be an excuse as to why your future can't be what you want it to be. Stop buying into your own bullshit that because you were doing something one way, that's how it needs to be moving forward. You've got this. I believe in you. But in that same thought, it's up to the other person in that sense. If I'm in their life for a reason, I agree with you. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say is you don't change who you are. You know your self-worth. You know your value. You know what brings you, right? You know what you're bringing to the table. Don't let somebody else manipulate or change what you bring to the table because they're choosing to either bring a to-go cup or not bring anything at all. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't change who you are. Don't give somebody that much power over your life that's not bringing you anything in return other than to take. There's a reason why you have to put your oxygen mask on a plane first before you help somebody else's. If your cup is empty, you can't pour into anybody else's. And on the flip side, I want you to think of it this way. You're in a tent with people around you, right? And everybody's dying of thirst. And you have a bottle of water. Before you take a sip, you pass it around to everybody else because you want to make sure that everybody else has their water. And then what happens is you make sure all of those people have all that water, right? It gets back to you, there's nothing left, boom, you're dead. What good are you doing to other people if you're dead? You have to be able to take care of yourself first. See, if you take the sip and you're good and then you pass it around to everybody else, now you can still help everybody else, but you helped yourself first. So you're gonna be there.